So, you want to learn how to fix a monk build? Well, for this, I'm going to choose this current build that we have and show you how ineffective it is while I tank a few trolls. This is going to be a bit different to the rest of the videos because it's not a damage build, so bear with me. Okay, so we're outside the troll cave now, and just to give you an idea of how annoyingly bad this build is currently, it has taken me 4 or 5 tries just to get Ogden here without him being killed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to aggro a few trolls, just as few as possible, and sit right on the edge of his aggro so that I tank these guys. And now we should see that Ogden tries to heal me, but how well can I survive? And how well will his energy hold up? Currently, not very well. And straight away I am dead. So this build needs some work, which is where I come in. So what's wrong with this build? Well, firstly, there isn't an elite, so we can add that. But secondly, there's not enough dedicated healing. Now, while this could have been a protection bar, it isn't. Its main purpose was to heal me, and he couldn't manage that. So, what can we do to fix it? Well, you've got some options. Personally, I'm not much of a fan of using a monk to heal. I prefer other options, which I'll go into in other videos and all sorts of stuff like that. But what I would like this monk to do in this instance is to protect me from trolls. So, firstly we're going to get rid of heal party, because that's useless. Cure hex on a normal monk bar is actually quite good, so we're going to leave that there. Rebirth, well, no, let's get rid of that too, and healing breeze is quite useless, and glyph of lesser energy isn't ideal. Vigorous spirit is quite a good skill, but for this particular instance I'm going to leave it out, and I'm going to remove shielding hands. I think I'll just build up my personal favourite monk bar that I normally use, which means changing him to a mesmer, removing protection prayers entirely, and giving him some inspiration magic. And why am I doing this? This is for energy management. In a normal team situation, he's going to be able to use power drain quite nicely, and the other option being another interrupt like leech signet, or if we have a knockdown in the team, which currently we don't but we will, waste not want not is quite a good option too. So what elite do I use? Personally, I quite like healing burst, so I'm going to dump that on the bar. Dwayne's Kiss is a solid heal, so we'll also leave that there. Patient Spirit is often seen as quite good, but on a hero they're not too clever with it, so we're going to leave out and put in Words of Comfort. For a bit more energy management I'm going to add Signet of Rejuvenation, and because this is a monk and I'd quite like him to be able to resurrect me, I'm going to add in one of my favourite resurrects, which is, if I can find it, this is typical, isn't it? I've completely lost the skill. It's not there. Resurrection chant, there we go. So this is what my normal monk bars look like. Fairly standard, healing, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to show this one off in a minute, but another option that you could do would be to change to an assassin, get rid of healing burst, and add deadly arts. Now what this allows me to do is give Ogden, in this instance, a lot more heavy energy skills like protective spirit and things like that, and as his energy management you could add Assassin's Promise. Now this is fairly risky. If you're killing things far too fast, then you're going to struggle to add that to your target, and then you're going to have some problems. However, it can be quite useful if you're a slightly slower party. But I'm going to add that last build on and go and show you what you can do with the trolls. Now then, I'm going to do exactly the same thing as before. I'm going to aggro the trolls and see how long I last. What I also didn't mention before was that I also quite like to use Unyielding Aura. It's definitely an option for a res skill, or for an elite. So we're going to take on these trolls and just see how long I last. You can see Ogden's healing me, and if I knock this guy down, let's see if he uses Waste Not, Want Not. Apparently he isn't, but he isn't low on energy yet, so I'm going to continue knocking them down. And there we see he used it, so clearly his energy management is okay. Now, yes, I did still die, but that was just because I'd aggroed too many trolls. Now, if you'll excuse the rough transition that I just did there, as an afterthought I thought I should show off the Assassin's Promise build with some protection prayers. So in this instance I'm just going to attack this suit of armour until it dies. I'm also going to spam a few protection prayers so that his energy gets a bit low. And then he should use Assassin's Promise. And in this instance I've killed that thing too fast. So Assassin's Promise isn't always a safe bet. I'm going to actually slow down a bit for this one to see if he uses it. There we go, the hex is on just as it's about to die, and all his energy is back. So that is a monk build for you to play with, but you should always try and figure these things out for yourself. So don't take my word as gospel. As usual, I always say that. And yes, go and play with your own builds and figure out what works and what doesn't. Go ahead and click the profession you want to be taken to that video.